book of Ecclesiastes. There's no scholarly evidence of this, but it is our tradition to imagine that it is so. Ecclesiastes, of course, is the book that we read during this festival of Sukkot. Its wisdom stands apart from the wisdom of most of the other biblical books. Ecclesiastes sees time as cyclical, while most of our biblical books see time as linear. The linear narrative of the Bible is ambitious, it is aspirational, it is mission-focused and goal-oriented in its approach to living a life of mitzvot in order to bring the world closer to shalom. Ecclesiastes, on the other hand, says, "Eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we will die." Kohelet says, "Don't sweat it. There's a time for every experience under heaven. A time to be born and a time to die, a time to travel the world and a time to be in quarantine, a time to be sick and a time to heal." Back in March, the first Shabbat morning when we were in the Mishkan via live stream, and we didn't really even know what we were doing yet. It wasn't live stream, it was just online, some way that we taped together with bubble gum and duct tape. I gave a sermon including a well-known story about King Solomon. It's really a Sukkot story. And so I thought I would tell it again tonight. I don't know how many people even knew how to find us online then, and we were only 24 people in the Mishkan that Shabbat morning because most people got the word to stay home, but some didn't. So here's how it goes. The wisest of kings, King Solomon, challenged one of his advisors. The king instructed the advisor to search for a ring that could turn a happy person sad and a sad person happy, a secure person anxious, and an anxious person secure. The advisor set out, took up the challenge, and traveled the lands far and wide, across Eretz Yisrael, but to no avail. Returning to Jerusalem, he found himself heavy-hearted, wandering the marketplace. And among the hustle and bustle, he noticed a man selling some old jewelry spread out on a threadbare rug. Desperate, the advisor told the merchant what he was seeking, a ring that could make a happy person sad, a sad person happy, a secure person anxious, and an anxious person secure. The merchant smiled and handed him a ring with an inscription of just 3 Hebrew words, Gam ze ya'avor. This too shall pass. When the advisor saw the ring and read the inscription, he also smiled. He purchased the ring at once. He thanked the merchant and returned to the palace to present the ring to King Solomon. Now, this is King Solomon the Wise, the one who built the strong temple in Jerusalem, who had riches and power of all sorts. He took one look at this ring, he read the inscription, and he nodded with approval and humility. According to legend, King Solomon wore that ring every day of his life, every day of his rule. Some say it was the secret of his wisdom. Some say that understanding the truth of the message inscribed on the ring, Gam ze ya'avor, this too shall pass, is one of the great secrets of life itself. So I offer this well-known legend today not as a gift or as a Hallmark greeting, and not as a simple hashtag. I offer it as a truth, as a matter of fact. We know it well. More than 6 months in, we know it all too well. In hard times like today, just as in good times, there is one thing we know to be true. Gam ze ya'avor, this too shall pass. Things change, and then they change again. The world changes, and then it changes again. We change, and then we change again. So, good people, we are like the sukkah in the breeze. It's time to show our resilience, our inner strength, our collective strength. And just like the sukkah in the rain, it's time to show our capacity to find joy, even in the midst of uncertainty. Just as our ancient Israelites did, our ancestors wandering in the wilderness, we know the secrets of survival, and we are blessed with God's protection in those clouds of glory. With all this, we will find our way through together. Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach.